Class today will last only 6 minutes. We start now. Oh gosh. Today we're talking about the man whose photograph you see right here. Students, John Farrell Easmon. He became the very first West African medical chief officer. He practiced in the Gold Coast, even though he was Sierra Leonean. He ended up building a family between Sierra Leone and, of course, the Gold Coast, today called Ghana. Can we go into the history right now? My brother, my sister, our hero for today, John Farrell Easmon, was born on the 30th of June in 1856 in Freetown, Sierra Leone. Oh gosh. At a very early age, he was more than just interested in becoming a doctor. He wanted to heal people. He wanted to be able to study medicine. My brother, my sister, and he succeeded. Hey. He ended up becoming the only West African to be promoted to chief medical officer. And he served in this role with distinction during the last decade of the 19th century. Easmon was a botanist and a noted expert on the study and treatment of tropical diseases. Jesus. In 1854, he wrote a pamphlet entitled The Nature and Treatment of Black Water Fever. The nature and treatment of black water fever. What exactly was it? It was malaria, my brother, my sister, in its acute form that caused hemolysis. What is hemolysis? When the red blood cells break into the plasma, my brother, my sister, and at the end of the day, they break into the bloodstream. That is what is called hemolysis, and would also pour into the urine. My brother, my sister, malaria is a tropical disease. He studied it and was able to go deep into the black water fever and malaria. He was the one who coined the term black water fever. The very first in the world to do that. And we credit him with that. My brother, my sister, today, the term black water fever is all over the place by the kind courtesy of this Sierra Leonean who naturalized to become a Ghanaian, a Gold Coaster. He was a member of the prominent Easmon family medical dynasty. He was simply called Johnny. He was a good settler stock in the settler town area of Freetown, Sierra Leone. My brother, my sister, and this was what happened to him. Interesting things. At a point, he decided that he wanted to come to the Gold Coast. After studying in so many different areas. His grandparents came all the way from Nova Scotia and settled in Sierra Leone. In fact, his mother was called Mary Ann McCormack, and she was of Northern Irish origin. My brother, my sister, he decided to come and be in the Gold Coast. But how did his journey start? J.F. Easmon grew up on Little East Street and attended a Roman Catholic primary school at Hall Street, Freetown, before being enrolled alongside Isaac Easmon in the Church Missionary Society Grammar School in 1869. My brother, my sister, he became an apprentice to Dr. Robert Smith at the Colonial Hospital in 1875. He received his inheritance from the estate of his maternal grandfather and immediately registered at the University College London. He used his own inheritance money and he went to London to study. My brother, my sister, while at the University College in London, Easmon won 6 medals, 3 gold medals and 3 silver medals, including the Liston Gold Medal for clinical surgery, and his academic achievements were lauded by newspapers in Sierra Leone. He graduated in 1879 after a distinguished academic career. He gained an LM and an LKQCP from the King and Queen's College of Physicians in Ireland, now the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland. Some people say Ireland. And an MD with distinction from the Université Libre de Bruxelles. He returned to Sierra Leone. And when he came to Sierra Leone, he started to practice. My brother, my sister. But he turned down the offer to do what? A position, to be in the position of an assistant house surgeon. He opened a practice on number 2 East Street in Settler Town in Sierra Leone because he didn't want to be an assistant to anybody. He was qualified enough to be on his own. And when he did this, hey, people trooped to him. He dressed so well in a silk top hat and a frock coat and striped trousers. He looked exactly like the British doctors. Hey. He received a lot of attention. And then he decided to move to the Gold Coast in 1880. My brother, my sister, how old was he in 1880? 24 years. I beg your pardon. Yes, 24 years. He was only 24. A full-blown medical doctor. He arrived in the Gold Coast and established himself as an eminent West African doctor. And when he arrived, my brother, my sister, he opened a private practice in Accra. He rotated between Keta and Accra. He also served in Lagos, Nigeria. My brother, my sister, but his popularity in Gold Coast increased amongst the natives and also the European residents. He remained in the Gold Coast all his life. The remainder of his life. He loved the Gold Coast, the attention he got, the respect. He was promoted to Chief Medical Officer before officially being appointed CMO of the Gold Coast in 1893. My brother, my sister, he resided with his family in Victoriaburg. Do you know there's a place in Ghana, Accra, here called Victoriaburg? It's a neighborhood of Accra, the capital of Ghana. Victoriaburg. Do you know the place? My brother, my sister, and this is where we bring it all to an end. He stayed in Ghana, formed a lot of groups. In fact, was able to mentor many. He even got married, my brother, my sister, right here. He married Annette Kathleen Smith, daughter of William Smith, and the sister of Dr. Robert Smith, Francis Smith, and Adelaide Kisley Hayford. That was how he started the Ghanaian wing of the Easmon family. In fact, so some of his children and grandsons are still here. My brother, my sister, some are gone, like Charles Odampton Easmon. My brother, my sister, today we remember this great man. He himself died young, 43 years old. 43 years old. And what killed him? Not malaria. He died from what is known as pneumonia. And this is Easmon and his beautiful young wife. Very innocent. These days, women are not this innocent. Look at the face, so innocent. My brother, my sister, he died and was buried in Cape Coast. he wanted to be buried in the Gold Coast. He had naturalized as a citizen of the Gold Coast. Today we remember you, Papa. Papa, Uninyaminko, Papa. Yeah, Papa, yeah, Papa. Uninyaminko, wate. Uninyaminko, why be Papa. Yeah, John Farrell Easmon. Uninyaminko. At the young age of 43, he said bye-bye to us. Today, I have the honor to be speaking about the first West African medical chief officer, John Farrell Easmon. He sponsored himself to study abroad. My brother, my sister, it is the African history class. And my name, Blakk Rasta. I ask you the burden of knowledge. Now that you know what we do, be an any ole mini obafe and zuda kagane mezaka yine. Yeah, papango bokaya nfifia yenu kaina wo. Bana yenwe be then lele yanjima singa be konne. Lele yanjima singa berry. It's been the African history class.
The emperor, the conqueror, the champion, the lion is here.